the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Yawaha ena eja unimbi bia Samuel Okudzeto ablakwa edeba betu edwase Ghana etimi aje nipa mako 14 US for se one entimi ne one entina na Ghana for ena akwa jiwo nipa 14 no ebi ye Ghana for ebi eye Nigeria for ebi nso eye Gambian for ene aje won ene de won aba begu Ghana ha mino ka se de nipa 250 so enam kwa so one esaba be pie mu Ghana as deportees other countries ne say anyone entra no Samuel Okudzeto ablakwa foreign minister ne NDC amanyoko nse ye de ye beje wo no nipa 14 no yedin kan eje wo no ade se nipa bi no say one entra se emamu nkofa nipa bone fo mfiri baabi emetra Ghana ha mo mese o man Ghana enti ebi mu tabiri NDC amanyoko no ne Samuel Okudzeto ablakwa ekokopie mu court bon ekokopie mu court na nipa 14 no be pie mu Ghana ha no yemfa omomra court Samuel Okudzeto ablakwa ne NDC amanyoko ne se won ehu baabi nipa no ewo na de yenkonkote wa bra na alwa ha Farouk echirechire
no China no asade na court to sell. What kind of international practices is that?
Nature say anhwe ya Mr. Awahab ye betumi anya problem wo sa papa ye we hu say ye see akwaji nipa ne ye behwe omo na say omo charge omo boye ne say omo de bedu ye omo de yakwa akogum omo ka so omo je ye na afi omo asade ye ko enti say eba international community no kra say international court kra no a ya anhwe ye besa akwaji manso abeto ye ho so wo asem we hu
yeah, again say nipa ne say bi obi a ho acho whoever is already on the ground on floor no you are not afraid to fall one no say bi ebi ni ho and abusioni bi no say bi awo na chi aso ode ne ko but the point is say there were UN rep e wa Accra say Oliver Vomao and I say women lawyers here they should rush to UN rep in Accra I want a petition no let's show you know because Shiraj is still induced Ghana court. Won't even go against what the government has done. Uncle UN rep. No president, uncle petition with UN rep. But these are refugees. These are people who have seek political asylum and etc. Nobody wants to know. From America. America deported from Ghana. Ghana has arrested them and keeping them in American jail. And it's a serious issue. We don't do that. We are all here. We understand it. We've been translators for several years with some of the world missions. And you said they are in here, Juma. Liberia refugees by how cross over border. They're Roma Kotu. Yenny refugees on cross to Cote d'Ivoire, 13,000. Arguably, we are trying to count how many of them. Cote d'Ivoire, Roma Kotu prison. Madam Pacho, what is a Cote d'Ivoire? Binyiri, Roma Kotu prison.
Oh, and Rakra, minority fue. Ranking member deputy eko honomo ya chese baby a ye di omo atena kra no se contractor bi chese apartments a wosisi de man workers and we yi omo free ho ne ye de ama omo honomo ahwa a eho ye only say nsuo na osi bi ni wo but dan no mutim ne de video edi twum na chese ho yara
eye go di wa ho me boa
wo se
and just na go di wa for dom chi wo no o manko Ghana Burkina for cross by na Burkina problem about it. Let you me room koi. It's the same thing. It is under the international status refugee law. Won't mean you be our journey, the afternoon where the yes will journey. America Semenjo, you have to make American say. I cannot begrudge and I cannot speak against that by the practice of the US. Anything of that country, your friend is soft bargaining spot. Was soft bargain with Ghana. All Jimmy Goka in UK, British for Ebina. Woman British also say your friends Rwanda. So no British deportees. How do they even respect it? British deportees, not only there or two. That's how the British did. They were going to pay and they were prepared to pay to the Rwandese government. So for Kagame and create a safe haven. British government the Fahunka. One control airport say one chiwomu for Kagame chiwomu there be almost crew and was makeshift apartments at the room. And it is anybody said on person of Nigeria for fear of Serbia imprisonment and Liberia for fear of imprisonment. And the occurrence of Rwanda no yabe that. eventually nipa or survival. That does not mean to almost sure it's not because seek asylum no. Tabi Kroma Ghana has it we seek political asylum than any other country in the history of Africa as far as Europe is concerned. But the political asylum status is very many. You need a civil war. Roma who seek asylum during Rollins time, no. How many of them? Not two, not three, no more than 200 people in an area. But none for your grantee woman, Nigerians, your friend is the Germans, they took more than 60% of Ghanaian refugees across Europe. I'm over Gianni, I'm a woman in the palm of Ghana. Women I see them in whom you didn't them. Women are almost all the new sites in Ghana. Germany and Holland, France and Belgium, these four countries, Ghana and the developmental agenda. In terms of housing, Mumu says the Ghana for it will be outside Germany. That one and every deal or say a group, Papa. And sorry, it will be any Sebi, a woman, America for global battle. And I'm sorry, your friend, economic refugees. Many Pan man in South Sudan, the economic refugee. Only some few countries of the world, and Tokwaho, Syria, or now Canada, was a Metro Syrian refugee. Americans are to GB, German folk or Lebanon, and only the economic refugee arising out of a war. Ghana now will be our but you seek asylum, and then the Ghana for UK. So I even include America, will be added to Sebi, or the first year in Qatar, I get a passport, once one nationalize it, one formalize it, in citizenship in the status. And normal. It's how the name about the general. Okay, Papa. Okay, now what place my gamer. So I identify to Nigeria. I think wish somebody can just reach my to me. Say, almost from Nigeria embassy. But Liberian call Liberian embassy. I know so much mean yet. So also a Liberian there, or a rap or Liberian embassy. And then I'm going to come Liberian embassy. So also a charge and there. If come charge embassy. Where Nigeria, Nigerian embassy. You don't go and keep them in a cell. You don't go and keep them in the military base. Natural will be culture. Most man for woman, are their limbs and their leg broken? No, let's do the right thing. So for deportation on one immigration status. Now the map by third country and our second country say on Jimmy non-transfer and come country. That country no Jina would Jimmy Fanuko baby because when yes it's after of a refugee no acceptance in Ghana sign be. And the would hear him yeah. Miss Okudzeto say. And I didn't think a journalist would say.
Miss Ahawahab, nature said, no, na kofa court on Semo Bemu say, nipa nemu 11 lawyers at the Omeyi court because he had the 3 Pokwama 3 no. One is saying so no the country I will free money until ko US no. Na ye persecute no for say oka LBGT community no. Ena Nigerian ba so story odiko sani enyina ye nim so omudiko di adro no and then one Nigeria to Nigerian so dia wo kan say ono so na entokwa bi wo ho no mo ama police for bo na and he was warned say any day you obesi ho no omo bebu naku no.
Thank you.
Eti ono so ye de ne konti we nyina no ne ye tie say lawyers so omudi omayi court no yetimi de court sani e wo kan.
But you only allowed 100%. Now say in be more campaign for my cancer intimate information. So what they know? What you must grant them one status. Intimate with a question is your Jomo airport and first day in home die. They only look at 2 hotel and a hotel fee and a hotel and a journey and a man car grant transportation, accommodation, feeding, and then also pocket money called the active fee. So the sign your mind there. Now me church say you will see can the better there. And your document. Your union inbound, inland, online Ghanaian call them refugees or deportees inland or free north and now through Kumasi about we have been or Dabontin. Kiampan Koma Wumu. But the Ajomo national status say you're a Ghana, you're an ECOWAS member. American forward non-fly because Ms. Okudzeto and Ghana from paying for. Obiano did that version about June because of the American non-stop flight because ECOWAS in England, that and the US didn't fight in the look non-stop. In what Trustee airport and what Trustee aviation system and what Trustee your migration authorities. Your one can't ask them. And one is a humanitarian. You can take some of us have been a translator with the mission. So we know what is called humanitarian. We say, what do you mean you will be asylum seeker deported on basis that we're seeking asylum our third country? And at third country and granting asylum. No deporting about second country. So what becomes of it means that you are granting the person status of asylum. You are granting automatically status of the asylum because you apply asylum or American. So we LGBT plus advocate and Yapanacheno. American for and because there is no basis, there is no confirmation. And they then go back to the country. Only for any Pabakuna to flight to end transit. According say Trump said the American government is ordinary Europe and the basic asylum. And a person punish you, so won't conquer Europe because it's a good destination into a good African country. What do you call African country there? Then I'm saying that it is incumbent by the UN Charter, the Refugee Charter, UNHCR, all the regulations, Ghana, Bibian. You can't take the person our land or your restriction, asylum status, oh baby. That country, no, the immigrant state. The immigrant state, America is an immigrant state. Canada is immigrant state. UK is immigrant state. Australia is immigrant state. Many of these immigrant states, which US is one of the father laws of immigrant states. No one will deporting a refugee while accepting asylum status. Why accepting an asylum application? No, the name brow as a third world or second country. Now, Gina, when Kimi is any panel and country and say, when one swagino was in Nigeria, Nigerian, and Tinuano, Bioneko, Uncle Dahi, Uncle Jahi, Uncle Didi. So when you time your man there, you might as well not have received, accepted them, give them back to the person or the country that brought them. And so many the issue in war. Because the country, Martin Nsem, we did article from Maka Wamawo. I was even bringing them to the court. One more represent you as a human rights lawyer. And these are some of the things that some of us want to be involved. Because with the name, but one the judge is not hearing what is bringing them. How they were even transported into the country is also questionable. Yes, your father Christmas, that's okay. Ghana is noted for that. Nipana Mudu treatment bed the Dima Liberia to a quadrum, Clientman Shumani. And voluntary repatriation, women are voluntary repatriation. Women are deported. Deported means that either in their handcuff or forcibly deporting them against their wish and their will. It is a China. Nipane brand ya deneba, who should mean China say, what the narcotic police cells. That is completely wrong. And the country should come clean. And surprisingly, said, okay, yes, a parliament. Yes, indeed. This issue, Honorable Okudzeto Black said, it was not for parliamentary administrative. What does that mean? Administrative meaning said it is the presidency where the decision was made possible, within the Minister of Foreign Affairs at the middle with the president and agreed. This is it. So if it is administrative there, then go and tell me. Come and tell me and tell you and tell Ghanaian listeners say, is it against the Foreign Affairs budget? Is it against Ministry of Interior budget? Is it against NADMO? And now say Ghana Prison Service and now Ghana Fire Service Ghana Service Fire Service over budget. What budget are we going to use to take care of them? And here now do more question. What's the man first or didn't babu ashobaka just one tina? Banoko up lavish please. Let's go how the amano and one watch cantonments. I said many about question. If they want to cantonments. Who could you down and say we deported? I had Robert, you have a pump and so Metna airport. You know, I'm because I'm airport. And what exactly is the country doing with the US deportees? Much as I agree, sir, America will not do transit deportation. They don't do it.
Tiwemono, yen to me for a monk or tina baby fa conte say cane send ye nim Liberia and ye see or ye say ye necra ye that's what Liberia camp or maymuno. When in Chesa, what can be said gitmotui and ne yemfa ye nim hu wo betonne so on ma wade Ghana ha wuwo so otin yo ye hu ti se wogi ahoho bi se ya wontumi meto wasawra me wo manumu ba bi obetena ne ye obedi sa ne mani nyina no you must cater for country a wo beji omo no sa na tie
exactly Chese I mean sure bibi in the case of Gitmotu America fortified prisons of the whole entire United States. Yeah, but you are not American government in Ukraine. 1 4 man to prison on land. Although to get more Guantanamo near only Cuba border, ensure not to have a prison war. Why did Obama break it down? Why did he close it down? Because that prison was classified highly risk. War front of American insurgency. Our Iraq and Afghanistan and other places, any Kuwait fight in Omchichi. What is it? Helicopter. I want to fly over the machines, over the prison. A day, that costs America almost $500,000 a day, dollars a day, taking care of Guantanamo prisoners. And to Obama can say the huge cost now are costume and the man Gulu and was started with Bloomberg country. But woman declare home countries and free hand. Only the stateless ones, I hire Bloomberg. Ghana once, me say country your president Okudzeto or swear oath of allegiance, or swear oath of secrecy, and was swear oath of office in Yamanema. Your oath of secrecy, is that what we took? Is that what we exercise? How come by the country has not been able to spell? That's why highly criminal and America focus on intimidation now. Network in America for Jinaso. So we are either. Dash, ISIS, Ansawa, this kind of prisoners now, rebels, terrorists, And it's about to and we have the same network, and we have our problem Libya. What would have happened? The country in Rome go by, having a peace solid in the country, in this uncle for way. Yes, we know, or some people will say, we know, and today the crowd were done in it. Now, we have better Kuma, Nigeria, on ECOWAS city in the Water Kuma years, 20-25 years. Ghana does not give her citizenship just like that. It's one of the countries in Africa with very difficult of issuance of citizenship. Edema Ubi. They don't do that. And to give me for your home day. And it's our cover will swap back. Also on Nigeria, where you wanted until Okusi asylum. Okosiki asylum. So Okosiki asylum, non America for 1G to what they bar. One agents on the bar, you must grant them asylum. You can't deport them. You can't keep them also in cells. It is against international law. It's against the UNHCR law and all the chapters signed so far. So what do you mean? Will be an asylum seeker. We are deporting that second world country, a second receiving country. Who to what such chapter will such a sign your man at it. Now Jenna also did not come to tell. One for now court. Lawyer General, who are they? Where are they? What are we talking about? But at least when the 40 this is over. Ghana must be very careful with how we handle some of these things. Much as we have good rapport with America, we support say only no problem. But we must have a valid agreement say we are transfer passengers. Transfer in transit into the airport, they will be transited to their country. Inland those Ghanaians among them, you release them to the family. Then South is done everywhere. What do you what you will be from American prison? Then I want to check the final corner with the American prison. One was done New York prison, one at that Washington prison, one at that Philadelphia prison. Now they never go to Nsem-Pii better. Do you think they are stupid? Because when you jump call, what did you 4 times a day? What did you 5 times a day? A draw pen on them, you shall you out. And so how far you are your prisoners? And how far you have your prisoners? How far in James Fort, your prisoners? And to continue the number 2 prison. What humanitarian are you granting? You can be a humanitarian country granting accepting deportation.